Hello, I'm Brenda Jackson. Welcome to my YouTube channel where I share videos for people who are interested in teaching online to get hired and build a successful business. Um, if you are in the hiring process, I would love to help you get hired. And if you'll just look at my information in the box below, I've been working for VIPKID for 2 years, and I've just recently been hired for GogoKid. So I'm now recruiting for both companies, and you can find my referral codes in the description box below. Um, Also, reach out to me at heybrendajackson.com, my email, and I can connect with you and I can answer your questions. I can do one-on-one sessions with you or help you in any way through that hiring process. It can really be kind of a confusing process, so you might need some help. And your salary is based on how well you do in your interviews. So you need to be doing a really good job at the very beginning so that you can make a great salary. Today I'm going to talk about props, the importance of props and how we use props, and then I'm going to share with you some of my favorite props at the end of the video. So let's get started. First of all, we know that props are critical in teaching English online. When you're using a total immersion method, which means that I don't use any Chinese. Many of my friends say, how do you teach English online to Chinese children? Do you speak Mandarin? I said, no, very little. Very little, but I said, I only speak to them in English because it's total immersion method. And but in order to do that, you have to have props or TPR to help them understand what you're saying and what it means. So when you hold up an apple, they definitely know what it, and you say apple, then the student can clearly see that the word you just said belongs with the object that you're holding. So apple, and that helps them to learn not only how to pronounce the word, but also how to understand the meaning and be able to identify those words and match the words with the objects. So it's very, very important when we're teaching. There are three, or I have three, or I have four. I have four kinds of props that I like to use in my classroom. And we're going to talk about each of those today. First of all, I use lots and lots of just 2D props. This one I use to teach family. I can also teach dad, mom, brother, sister, and brother. And 2D props are very, very helpful, and I have lots of them. You can download them if you get hired by VIPKID, and there are lots of Facebook groups out there with teachers who are willing to share other props that they have made, and it's a great community out there. If you're thinking about getting hired, you will love the community as well, and they will share props with you. One thing that I will recommend you do with your 2D props is to laminate them. And I was thrilled when I purchased my laminator. It only cost me $20 at Walmart, and the laminating film is not very expensive. And then I had lots of fun laminating my props, and then that makes them more durable and it makes them last longer. You do need to be aware that once your props are laminated, they will have a glare in the light. So it's important that you tilt them slightly forward to avoid the glare. Keep them tilted towards the camera, and that will keep the glare off of your 2D props. Another little trick I like to use is I put magnetic tape on the back. Now this magnetic tape I also got at Walmart. It was about $10 for the roll, but it works amazing. You can just pull it off and use it, and it's just like tape. And you just put it on the back of your prop, and then your prop will stick to any a metal surface, and it works great. This is also another great thing for your 2D props. is just a cheap cookie sheet at Walmart. I think at the time I bought mine, it was 88 cents, but it's definitely under $2. They may have gone up in price since I bought mine, but a very, very inexpensive place to display your 2D props is on like a cookie sheet or a magnetic board. And I love that tape. So those are 2D props. And another way, the way I organize these, I keep these filed, and I just purchased one of those accordion file folders, and I have them all alphabetized uh, in ABC order, and it makes it really easy to find the props when I'm ready to teach a lesson. I just go and pull the props ahead of time. So 2D props are an important part of my prop collection. Also, I have 3D props, and a 3D prop is just a three-dimensional prop, and I think the students really love the 3D props probably best. They like to see little toys or objects that represent the things that you're teaching. So 3D props are another great thing to use. One thing, a little tip I have for 3D props, this is a butterfly, and if you have some props you want to be magnetized, then I recommend these little tiny magnets. These are like super magnets. I think they're actually called neodymium magnets. And I finally found these at Home Depot, but I'm sure you can order them online as well. But they are the best, strongest little props, and they work really well to stick to any metal surface. I will say they are so strong that it took me a while to find glue that would keep them from sticking to the metal and coming off of the prop. And the best glue now I recommend is the E6000 glue that you find in a tube. It's a great glue. Super glue didn't work, hot glue didn't work, but finally when I used the E6000 group, those magnets are staying put. So if you're going to do the neodymium magnets, then I recommend the E6000 glue. So 3D props are another great prop. Also, don't forget to use real props. Use real things. Today I taught a student about breakfast and the foods he likes to eat for breakfast. And we talked about, do you like cereal for breakfast? He did not like cereal for breakfast, but they still love to see these props. And I'll give you another little tip. Be sure you dump the Rice Krispies out, because this morning in class, I dumped them in the floor because I fumbled my box when I picked it up, and I had Rice Krispies all in my floor. But it was okay because my dog ate all the Rice Krispies. She had a wonderful breakfast. So be sure you're using some real props, like a real apple, real box of cereal, or a real McDonald's package. The kids' eyes really light up. And I just went into McDonald's and asked them, I told them I taught online, and I would like to, could I have one of their French fry containers to use to teach my ESL class, and they were glad to give it to me. So you might check that out too. I really, when I first started, was a little afraid of these props, which were digital props. And I waited a long time to start using them. But once I did, I love the digital props. Now, I have not pushed forward, and I'm not using ManyCam. I'm still using my props just on my iPad. Some people use their phone, but I worry that the phone may be too small of a picture for the kids to see. And this is actually a mini iPad, and I bought this little kid-friendly case to put my mini iPad in, and it has worked really great for showing lots of digital props. And if you teach for VIPKID, there's a great group of girls who have, or teachers who have put together some slides called Google Slides that will help you tremendously. And they're just wonderful slides that they provided, and they made them, and then they share them for no cost to all the teachers. And just a good shout out to all of you guys for making these props. And I love using these props. This one was teaching the word not or cannot and turn. So I cannot turn. But what I really love about these is I love the little gifts that you can have when you're doing a digital prop. Um, these little short videos really do engage the students and they enjoy watching them. And then you can even follow along. It can turn. Can it turn? It can turn. A couple of tips for using digital props though. When you use digital props, you have to set your iPad by turning up your display to as bright as it will go. And then you also need to set your screen so that it will never turn off. Otherwise, your screen might go to sleep in the middle of your class, and then you've got to put your code in, and that's awkward and a waste of time. So be sure you set your display all the way up as high as it'll go, and set the screen so it never turns off. Another tip, if you'll watch, when I do that, you can see my lights and it's not a good picture. I'm also keeping this tilted. So you have to tilt it, and sometimes there's still a glare, but it's really important to kind of tilt it a little bit to keep the lights out of the reflection so you can see the pictures well on the digital props. So 4 kinds of props that you can use to make your class exciting and fun. And just really quick, I want to share some of my favorite props. One of my favorite props is this set of alphabet cards I got at a teacher supply store. It's by Trend, and they're awesome cards, and I love them. I've used them over and over and over in the lower levels when I'm teaching letters and letter sounds. They come with a card where they have the big letters on the front and the small letters on the back, and then they come with cards that have both letters on the card, and then they have pictures on the back that begin with that letter. So this is a great set of cards that I've loved and I've used over and over again when I teach the lower level classes. I also purchased a set of high frequency words at Mordell's, I think, and in their teacher section. And these high frequency words have been something great that I've used over and over. I also, for words that weren't in the set, I bought these word cards at the Dollar Tree, and they've worked awesome, and I can then write the words that I need, and it's an excellent way to be able to help the kids to learn to read. And so I can do he walks, and the student can read the words. I love that I have used these pronouns so often in all of my classes that I put them on sticks and I keep them right in front of my camera, and there's something I'm using all the time. Food props are something you're going to want to invest in. A small thing of 3D food props are something I use frequently and all the time to help teach different concepts. Pizza or eat. And the kids love the ice cream, and there are lots of times when we're using the ice cream in the lessons, but this came with lots of different food props. So I love my food props. Also, I bought these block letters, and I love these as well. These work. Some people use, let me get it up, right side up. Some people have Duplos, and those are great and cheaper, but I don't have any grandkids, and my kids are gone, so I don't have any of those. So I purchased these at a teacher store, but you can certainly use the large Lego blocks to do the same thing, and if I'd had those, I would have used them. But these also work great to teach blending words, ed, red, or segmenting words, red, ed. So these are great props that you can use too. And those are just a few of my favorite props, but just keep in mind that props are very important to your success as a ESL teacher online. The parents love that you use them. It keeps the student engaged, and it will make the class a lot more exciting when you use lots of props. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you need help through the hiring process, don't forget to reach out to me through my email, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.